All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back for another recap video. Today, I'm up nicely green. 3 digits today. It's been a while since I had a 3-digit green day, but here I am up 167. Traded 4 different stocks. So we have GROM, GROM, which I'm red on, GNS, BIAF, and BXRX. GROM had a beautiful pre-market trade, pre-market front side, which I traded, but I kept stopping out. I kept taking small losses, and I just couldn't get a good read on it. I kept stopping out for a small loss before watching it go without me, and that seemed to be the trend. And then here at the open, I tried to do a bottom bounce for the break over the 90 EMA, maybe a test of VWAP, but didn't work in my favor. And pretty much immediately, it dropped from 320 to 308 and cut it for a 10-cent loss on 500 shares. And no, 250 shares. So that was, a $25 loss pretty much right out of the gates there on GROM. GNS, this one here, not really a front side, but we had a little bit of bottom bounce from the pre-market chart. Here we have the low here, higher low, and then we started to rip up, but I was a little late to the party. I started trading this around 5 on this pullback here, and I got a little bit small gains here on GNS. And that was it for that on GNS. BIAF was also a pretty decent one, nice front side. This you could tell with just the volume profile that it was a good long because you were getting high day volume right around 10:30. Getting high day volume on something like this sort of an hour after open is usually a good sign it's going to start trending. You also have to monitor, other stocks. Are other stocks moving, or is this going to be the only one moving at the moment? If it's the only one moving at the moment, then traders are going to all be looking at the same stock. So yeah, BIAF started trading this through the high and up to 3. And then here again for the break of the high, but I didn't hold long enough here. I was trying to get a proper entry, and it pretty much went straight from 305 and then just skipped over the high. I didn't get to really add into the high up to 320. And yeah, that was actually a pretty bad trade there. And then here at this point, I was actually done trading by 11, but we did get some more opportunity. I was busy doing other things. And once I start doing other things, on my computer that are not related to trading, I take that as being clocked out, because if I'm doing something else and then like I see a move and I start trading again, I pretty much lost my it feels like I lost my mojo, and I don't really know. It's very important to know the context of the move, and which that comes from watching, the previous 20 minutes before the move happened, and not being able to watch the price action the previous 10 or 15 minutes before any sort of significant move in the market. I'm kind of coming out of it. I'm coming at the market from a different point of view, rather than if I've been watching and monitoring the market previous to of the move. So once I start doing something different, I'm pretty much done trading at that point. And by 11 a.m., I'd be looking at the market for about 4 hours, and that's definitely plenty. So usually around 11 is a good time for me to be wrapping up. So, but I did miss a little bit, another 80-cent move, 70 to 80-cent move from there. A little bit of a nice tight bull flag here. Breaking out and topping out at 399. Did not break into the force. So we'll see what BIAF and has anything more in it. But the next stock we'll look at is BXRX, which again, another nice pre-market mover. And look at all of these trades. Look at all these trades. So many. Kind of overtraded this a little bit. But we did go, take, looks like this is a trade into the highs. This was a 4-cent win for a quick micro pullback for the breakthrough, the previous high. Another micro pullback dip. Another dip. I really like to focus on dips, scalping the dips, and then once it starts to attempt the high or attempt the 1 minute new high, I'm looking at the level 2 and I'm waiting for, I already have, the previous high in mind, and I'm looking at that level and waiting it for it to break. And so I'm adding for an anticipation for the break of the 1 minute high. And then if it's retesting highs, I'm also looking at the tape, anticipating that break as well, waiting for volume, waiting for a big bid or any sort of signal that buyers are coming in. Here's another nice dip here, 200 shares at 521, selling for a 6-cent gain at 527. Then I add more at 18. It looks like I took some for a break even, and then took the rest for about break even as well. Here I did go for a dip, but it's waiting for a bigger bounce, but I cut it at a small loss there. And then we curl back up, back through the 90 MA. And wow, this was a nice bounce off of the VWAP. And we're crawling back up into the high. Here I'm waiting for, I wanted to see something like this. That's what I was anticipating. But I just started inching a little higher, inching a little higher, inching a little higher. And when is there going to be that moment where you're just going to be like, you know what, I just have to go for it now for the high? And at that point, if you're putting your starter position around 525, 530, you have a pretty decent risk, looking down. But you may potentially, in this case, you would have missed a 40 or 50% move. So, at some point, I had to throw in the towel and be like, this is not going to happen. This dip here ain't going to happen. The higher low, not going to happen. So I'm just going to have to either, have tight stops and really get a proper scalp, through the high, through the previous high, or, being better at, cutting it or taking small gains, before any sort of big flush. We never actually did get that big flush, but it seemed so extended, just kind of grinding higher, grinding higher, grinding higher into the highs. Definitely a little sketchy, but I was able to take some profits here. Wow, this was sloppy. So here I got in for the new high, and then I guess it flashed down to 29, took a 5-cent loss, and then it reclaimed. Then I FOMO'd back in at 46 for the break of 550, but this was actually a good trade. Got in at 46 for the break of 550, and we skipped up to 61, so that was about a 15-cent profit there on 400 shares, which is pretty decent. It's a nice $60. Got back in on the dip here and got another 10-cent profit on 100 shares. I sold 300 for break even. Then I looked for some continuation, but we didn't get any continuation there. And here I kind of took a quick trade, attempt that breakthrough 6, but we never got it until we dipped down, and then we finally broke through. But at this point, we were getting close to the open, and once we start to get a couple minutes from the open, I like to refocus, recenter myself, and get prepared for the open. And here at the open, I traded this with one share just to test the fills and see how the fills were. And the second minute, we ripped, and then we dipped. We dipped pretty hard here, but I took a scalp off the lows at 65. Look at this entry, 565, 250 shares, selling it for a quick profit at 76, quick $25. 750 shares at 65, selling at 66.9 for a 1 cent profit. So that's about maybe 1.5 cent profit. So maybe about $10 or so. And then another dip at 69, selling at 75, 6 cent profit. That was only 100 shares. And here again, took a 3 cent loss on 350 shares. And here was a pretty decent trade. 1,000 shares here at 81. So we dipped down, kissed that double bottom on top of VWAP. Support comes in, bottoming tail, looking for that now break of resistance. The next resistance here is the 90 MA, $6, and then this previous candle, or no, just $6. So 90 MA and then $6. So I'm adding as it's reclaiming, bottoming wick, looking for some more buyers and see that pop through that resistance. And they got some sells here. Looks like I was all over the board here, but we averaged out at 585. So another $40 profit. Here was a scalp through the highs, and I got out quickly before the false breakout there. That was BXRX. So, a lot of nice trades. It was very volatile. And BXRX at the open, the traders who were able to get in and out quickly really probably did the best on BXRX. Just because of how whippy it was very volatile, and a lot to get caught in. A lot of these candles are 10% drops or more. This candle here was 12% drop in matters of seconds. So definitely a lot of risk on BXRX for anyone who's holding longer term. The longer term, I mean, a couple minutes. I don't even hold for a couple minutes. I hold for a couple seconds. I'm able to get, quick 5 or 10 cents here, quick 5 or 10 cents there. Before you know it, I'm decently green on the day, and I'm ready to either preserve profits or I'm ready to size up even more if it's a decent day. But today, we did get some action for sure. BIAF was definitely the winner here at the open. Something, with BIAF, definitely something I could have got a little bit more aggressive on. But it was starting to get a little bit later in the day as well. At that point, I had decision fatigue, and I have other things going on. So, and at that point, I was already at my daily goal. So sometimes it's like you just want to size down, and if you can add extra profit, that's great. But I don't want to be risking the house. The entire profit I made on the day, for something at 10:30, 11. But, there's risk and reward. There's risk and reward, of course. And, some days it's definitely going to be more beneficial to trade later in the day and be risking the profit you made earlier in the morning. But today I thought it was a really good day. It's been a while since I had a 3-digit profit day. And slowly getting my feet wet with size. Today I definitely took... my biggest size was 1,000 shares, and that was on, was that on BXRX maybe? 1,000 shares on BXRX, so it was about a $5,000 position size. And GNS, no, it was GROM. GROM, I also had a 1,000 share position in here. So that's a $3,000 position size. So, I'm getting my feet wet slowly with that sizing, which is good. And it's something I'm going to be progressively increasing again, as I get more consistent and more comfortable again. The past few months, I just took way too many huge sized and getting caught in flushes. Like, just that happened too many times to where it really, busted my confidence with, whether or not I know what I'm doing. Some days you just take so many big losses and then you start to question, like, do I even know what I'm doing anymore? And so it really did take me, 2 months to start building my confidence again. And, now that I know, like, how important it is to have confidence in trading, definitely makes me realize the importance of maintaining that confidence and not taking outsized losses when you're sizing up, because if you start to ruin your confidence again, then you have to kind of sort of build yourself back up, which can take a long time. But then on the other hand, also, like, the more times you go through it, the more you realize that you do kind of know what you're doing and you are consistent. And next time this happens, next time I do take a couple losses that are a little bit bigger from sizing up, it won't take me as long to kind of get fully back on the horse. Right now, I'm sort of not fully back on the horse yet, and I'm still building up that confidence. But I want to take it slow because I think that's the responsible thing to do, and I want this to succeed so bad that I'm willing to go very, very slow to ensure my success. I think it would be irresponsible to push yourself beyond the limits of where you're actually comfortable with. You know, where it gets to like beyond your end, to be way beyond the end of your comfort zone. If it gets too far beyond the end of your comfort zone, that's where you can really shatter your confidence. And that's what I kind of experienced a few months ago. But you know, I think it's more mature to progressively do it rather than doing it all at once. You know, I've seen people do it all at once and it does work, but more often than not, it does happen. What does happen is a huge blowout loss that takes people months and months and months to make back, and that's just being irresponsible. So, if you want it really bad, if you really want to do this really bad, if you really want to succeed, you have to take it slow, and you have to want to take it slow, because that's the only thing that's going to ensure your success. You know, time is definitely our friend in this, because the more time we take to get to like a really high level of trading, the better our foundation, the better our consistency, the better our statistics, because they're more accurate over a longer period of time, the more experience you have, and that just gives you the best chance to like get to that highest level that we want it not just a couple hundred a day, not just $10 a day, not just $50 a day, not just 500, not just 1,000, but 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. That's all possible for the people who want to take it slow and are in this for the long term. And that's not going to happen within 1 or 2 years. Not going to happen in 3 years. It might not happen in 5 years. But I think you give it 7 to 10 years, and I think you're going to be, anyone who does this every day for 7 to 10 years, anyone is going to be in that range of making high success, level trades, making multiple thousands a day, or tens of thousands a day. And I think, it just comes down to persistence and showing up every day. That's the most important thing, for sure. That's how we learn. That's how our brains learn. That's how our minds learn, just by being observant and just having the market teach us through just watching it every single day. So that's it for me. I'm gonna log off here. Nice profit day, 167. Hopefully you guys are doing better now that the momentum's a little bit hotter. So comment down below. I want to know how you guys are doing. Also, check out the links down in the description. You guys can join the Discord, as well as you can sign up for Trade Journal, which is an amazing platform. Completely, there's a free version, and there's going to be also paid versions for a more personalized mentoring sort of experience. Hope you guys level up your trading. So you guys can check that out. Links in the description. Also, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next recap video. All right, peace.